Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. So for this week's review, we're going to be testing out the brand new Revolution under eye concealers. Now these are ones that I've seen very heavily advertised recently and I thought this is the perfect thing for me. Some of you guys probably won't know because I don't really come on here a lot without makeup on, but I do have really bad under eye bags. Sometimes they're worse than others. I always use gels, serums and creams to try and get rid of them, but it's just, they do help depuff, but they never completely get rid of them. A lot of the time they show through my makeup, which isn't always great, no matter how high coverage the concealer is, it just doesn't quite cover it. That's really frustrating. So hopefully these will do the job. If you haven't seen these before, they are basically an illuminating concealer that you're supposed to apply underneath your eyes to help reduce the appearance of eye bags or dark circles if you are a normal person and call it that. Vitamin C is supposed to be amazing for your skin, so it's really nice that they've incorporated that into these products. The products retail for £8 on the Revolution website. Obviously, depending on where you can buy them, prices may vary, so just look out for that. I picked up two just because I wasn't sure which one would be best for me. There's nothing worse than trying to pick your shade online, so I just picked up two just to be on the safe side. Also for this video, I'm going to do a half and half face where I apply makeup to one half of my face and not to the other so that we can get a really good like on-screen comparison between the two. But before we jump straight in, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, as well as turn your notifications on to be told when I post. Also follow me on my socials, Instagram, TikTok and Twitter. Insta's the main one, but I would highly recommend you follow me on all. I'm now going to step off camera and remove all of my makeup, apply half a face of foundation, and then we're going to jump straight into testing out these concealers. Right, so I know I look absolutely crazy right now, but let's just go with it. Just imagine that this isn't happening. So as you can see, I've only got half a face of foundation on, just so we can really see the difference between whether or not this concealer like brightens my under eyes or not. My foundation on the whole is pretty good. Like, I think it's medium to full buildable coverage, but it doesn't completely conceal all of like the shit that's going on my face. I have here two different shades of the concealer. I've got medium yellow and medium light, just from looking at the bottoms of the concealers, because if you look at them on the front, they really don't look like massively different, just the tone of this one is slightly more yellow. Opening it up, the applicator looks really funny. This shade that I've picked here is actually the medium yellow. I thought it was the medium light, my bad. I'm just twisting it to get the product through, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it does kind of give me, is it Maybelline Age Rewind concealer vibes? Very similar concept. Where's all the product? Oh, no, it's there. Weirdly, I had to twist that quite a lot to get any product out, and it doesn't look like there's a massive amount of product in there, which is a little bit concerning. But anyway, gonna just tap this underneath my eyes. The consistency of this is very kind of like creamy. It doesn't look too full coverage. I think I may have applied a bit too much, but I'm just gonna pop that in the areas where I would apply it normally. Get my mini beauty sponge and just start tapping away. I thought I'd do half and half because I tried this in another video and I think it was quite good to like get a comparison of absolutely no makeup right next to concealer, foundation and all that good stuff. So far, in my mirror, it looks really lovely and nicely blended. However, in the viewfinder, I look a little bit wild, but that's okay because once I have a full face on, it'll probably look, hopefully, fingers crossed, slightly more normal. Wow, actually looking at it in the viewfinder, you can see the brightening effect that that concealer has. Look at my eye bag on here. And then it's like, you can kind of see there's a bit of a ever so slight darkness underneath my eyes, but the brightening concealer has definitely brightened. One thing that I do when I apply concealer, especially if I've got too much, this is quite a good hack, is I always do it underneath my cheekbone just to kind of lift everything up. I really need to contour because my face looks wild. I'm just gonna tap a little bit more underneath just to see if I can completely get rid of that eye baggage. It looks so intense in the camera, but I promise you in real life, well, I hope in real life, that I look slightly more normal. The consistency of the concealer is nice and creamy, super easy to blend, lovely brightening effect that it's giving underneath my eyes. I'm so excited to do the rest of my makeup to see how this turns out because I'm like... So this is the side with makeup on and this is the side without. I have to say I look far more healthy on this side. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go off camera and do the rest of my makeup, so the other half of my face and the rest of my face makeup, and I'll come back to you and tell you what I think of this concealer. Okay everybody, so I finished doing the rest of my face makeup. Oh, actually I've still got these clippy things in. Let's take these out. So even just from looking at the viewfinder for like a split second before I've even started talking, I can definitely see how bright my under eyes look, which is wild. Like when I'm looking at the viewfinder for my camera over here versus in the mirror over here, my eyes look totally different. I think the contrast is so different to what they normally look like versus what they look like now. it's a very noticeable difference. I'll also put on the screen like a genuine before of my complete face with no makeup, a half and half of what my face is like with no concealer but with just foundation, and then another clip where I have foundation and the concealer but still half and half, and then lastly I'll put a clip on the screen of what my face looks like with both my foundation and concealer applied. So before we move on to anything else, I wanted to talk about application and the product itself. As I mentioned whilst I was applying it, it did really remind me of the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer, a lovely concealer that I've used for years and years on and off. I say on and off just because sometimes I need more coverage than others, like when my eye bags are worse than they normally are. The formula was really nice, it was really smooth, easy to apply, lovely to blend into the foundation that I was wearing. Sometimes when you mix different brands of makeup, they don't always sit together very nicely, but on this occasion, just blended in like a dream, which is always lovely to see. One thing that I will mention though is that this is not a full coverage concealer. It's a brightening concealer, but it's not full coverage for me. You can still notice that there is like an under eye bag situation going on, but it's not nearly as noticeable as obviously normal. I also did apply it to other places that I would normally apply concealer to my face, and as you can see, everywhere is looking bright, glowy. The makeup ring light that I normally use to film my videos with that I've got now really reflects that, I think. Yeah, even though it's not a full coverage concealer, it still did a pretty good job of concealing those eye bags. Also, when I powdered over the top, it did crease a little bit, but nothing like that I wasn't normally used to or anything extra than normal. My skin looks really hydrated, looks nice and glowy with all my makeup on. Like, it's all the same products that I'd normally use. My makeup just looks different and I kind of like that. A couple of things I didn't like, unfortunately, was that you had to turn the bottom of the product quite a lot, and as you can see, this is the first time I've ever used this product, and look how much of that has already been pushed upwards. That would, I guess, kind of make sense. As I just looked at the bottom, it says there's only 3 ml of product in this, which is not really that much. Let me just find another concealer. So just as like a comparative thing, I did a review on the Ordinary Coverage Concealer that came out a few weeks ago. This tube here has 8 ml of product and this one has 3. Look at the difference. Even though the applicator was super cute, it was really nice and fluffy, like before I used it, it was all I didn't like the fact that the applicator, you did have to press down and push it onto your skin. I try to avoid applicators and things like that just because I find that it pushes my products around underneath. The only way around that is if you twist the applicator even more, get more product out and dab it onto your skin rather than like brushing it on. That's the only way I can think around it. Or you can get like another brush, swipe the product off of the applicator and then tap it on like that. That might be another way around it. That is also a problem that I had with the Age Rewind concealer, except for there is way more product in there from what I can think of. Actually, I'm just gonna go and get that. There he is. I love how this is unintentionally turned into like a full comparison video. This is a very, very old Age Rewind concealer. Thing is absolutely battered, like so battered. But there is, it's so battered I can't even tell how much product in there. But there's definitely far more product in this than there is in here. So these are the two applicators against each other. Like I said, didn't want this to turn into a comparison video, but it kind of has in a way. I would be less bothered about twisting more product onto that and tapping it onto my skin to get a good blend than I would with this, just because there is so much more product in this. But like I said, applicators very, very similar. I think from a personal point of view, I much prefer concealers that have like a squeezy tube where you can push out as much product as you need, or a pump. Even though you can't control how much product comes out, it's still like less contamination because you're squirting it onto the back of your hand rather than tapping it straight onto your skin. So from those points of view, I didn't enjoy this. I'm going to put the Age Rewind down because that's not what this video is about, but it was helpful to have as a comparison. In summary, it really likes the formula of this product, concealed my eye bags quite well, blended amazingly into my foundation, and it wasn't the same brand either, which is great. Didn't crease either or go cakey when I applied powder. It looks great on my skin. It doesn't look too like glaring or anything. I have another mirror over here, I know. Price point for this is very reasonable as well. There are tons of different shades to choose from. They also do it with undertones as well, which is good because even though there are lots of different shades, everybody is a different undertone, which means there's like a whole array of like other things to go into when it comes to color matching. So very happy that they've given you the most amount of options that they can with adding undertones. A little bit disappointed at how little product there is in there because this looks massive, but it's not. The amount of cranking that you had to do to get product out was a little bit disappointing. disappointing as well, but I mean, it wasn't that expensive, so I'm not too worried. Also, the actual product itself inside was really good. Definitely does do the job of brightening the under eye. Also, it has vitamin C within the formula, which is nice because vitamin C is so good for you. So in summary, would I say that I like this product? Yes, I do. A couple of things that I'm maybe slightly disappointed about, but nothing that would stop me from using this product. So that is it for this week's video, testing out the new Revolution Under Eye Concealer. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up so I know. I'll leave the link to this product in the description for you in case you want to try it out for yourself, along with my social media. So if you have not already, make sure you follow me on those. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, have all of those. The main one is Instagram, but I'd highly recommend you follow me on all of those. And as well, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more videos like this and turn your notifications on to be told every time I post. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay safe, stay indoors as much as possible, wash your hands as much as possible too, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye guys.